What's up, everybody? I'm Metal Nick,
I'm Jeff Christopher.
and welcome to episode number 96 of Vinyl Bang. Uh, what is today's topic, Jeff?
I don't fucking know anymore.
New
Dude,
stuff,
we've
part two.
new stuff part two. We've gotten enough new stuff that we should just talk about new stuff. Stuff that we've gotten. New stuff, old new stuff, your new stuff, my
Yeah,
new stuff.
yeah. There's a lot of new stuff to talk about in this episode. We'll talk about it when we get there. But yeah, I'm in the dark here. I'm Nick at night, literally. Um, my sh-
Ooh.
my chef at work calls me that.
Nick at night.
I got a name tag for it and everything.
Lame. People at work call me Mr. Grindstopher.
Well, it's
They call me Jeff at day.
my whole life, women have called me Nickelodeon, and this is the first person to call me Nick at Night, and I love that because it's new and original. But
Mm-hmm. It's
yeah,
fun.
it is fun. But I'm in the dark here today because Jeff said I was too bright. Um, but yeah, let's not waste anybody's time because this could be a record-breaking episode with the amount of records we have to talk about. So
Dude, that's ridiculous.
we have new stuff to talk about. I think there's one thing we both think have to talk about at the same time. But Jeff, let's just get rolling here, bud.
Yeah, I'm gonna get started because fuck, we'll be here till 10 o'clock. All right, so I'm gonna start off with a project, a new grind project, a new fun new grind project featuring Brian Fajardo and uh, Mitch Luna and Baron Path. Oh my god, this fucking album is so good, dude. This album is ridiculous. Take a show without the cover because we were told one time to do that and we never did it. Barren Path. This is an EP, 5 or 6 song EP, and my god, this fucking thing is so good, dude. It's like experimental. It's fast. It's grindy. There's experimental parts. The pressing. There's an etching of some sort on the back. I don't even know what the etching is, but man, I put this on the turntable the other day and it got like 2 or 3 spins because it is just glorious, glorious fucking new grind project. Uh, yeah, badass. It's definitely my newest or my most favorite new grind project that I've discovered because it just came out like a month or two ago on Willow Tip. Man, what an album! Awesome. Ask me about Barren Path.
Other than it's spelled Baron and then the new word path.
No,
I, I don't.
Barren, Baron, not Jet Pilot Baron, not Red Baron Pizza. A couple of these, I didn't even go through the new stuff, some of my new stuff that I got because some of it is my wife's that was acquired from an antique store. But I'll talk about the ones that I kept, the ones that I. Up next, since I'm gonna hurry up and get through these so I can go take a nap while Nick talks about all his fucking records. I found okay. So a couple of weeks ago, I went to an antique mall here in the town I live in. My father has taken up a table, a booth at one of these antique malls, and I went in to see his wares that he had for sale and whatever. And went in to check out the other people's booths or whatever, and I found this table that had like records, had a bunch of old OG press records, and I walked out with like 10 or 12 or 15 of them or whatever. Some of them are for my wife, some of them are for a buddy of mine or whatever. But I got like 15 records for $60. Couldn't pass it up. One of these records is Pink Floyd Metal. Meddle. I don't even know which album this is in their discography. I don't even want to pretend to know. I'm sure Champ Morgan will chime in and let me know. This thing is an OG press. I looked it up on Discogs. It is an awesome. I think it's 1973 or 74. This album, this particular copy, whenever I threw it on the turntable, the surface noise was so fucking bad on this thing. I had to go through and clean it twice. And my cleaning method is just a brush. It's just it was like a Crosley or some shit. Just like you put like liquid cleaner on it and then rub it on the thing as it's playing, and it helped. but didn't really take away all of the surface noise, but definitely made it a lot more tolerable to listen to. But still, I got this for like $2 or $3, so I couldn't really complain. Up next, going through the antique mall stuff. My wife got Billy Joel, The Stranger. Billy Joel's okay. I got nothing for or against him, but I'm not going to talk about it. This is a really cool one, actually, and this is not in the list I sent you, Nick, and I'm sorry. I'll update the list later. This is Led Zeppelin Presence. I am not familiar with this album at all. I saw a Led Zeppelin album in this stack of records, and I thought, yeah, fuck it, I'll pay $3 for a Led Zeppelin record. But Presence, and I don't even remember what else on this thing. I'm not going to get into it because of this is going to be a 3-hour episode. What do we got here? Okay. This is one. No, I don't want to get into stuff that's not from the antique mall yet. Here is a good one. This is a 1973 OG press, original pressing of ZZ Top Tres Hombres, and I am so stoked to have this copy. I've got a 1977 press that is not a gatefold, but this is an original press, an original gatefold press. Super stoked to have this. I'm not huge into ZZ Top, but what I've started discovering from them over the last, I don't know, 10, 12 years, whatever it is, whenever I started dabbling in ZZ Top. This is definitely my favorite record, and glad I found an original copy of that. Up next, let's just keep with the ZZ Top. Fandango, which is an album from 1975. And as far as I can tell, this is an OG press. Contains the songs Thunderbird, Backdoor Medley, Nasty Dogs, and Funky Kings, Balinese. I'm not familiar with this album, but it was a ZZ Top album. And again, $3. Couldn't really pass it up. So hooray for more ZZ Top. And let's see what else I got from this thing. Okay, so this is an album that was introduced to me personally. I don't know if Nick was aware of it or not, but whenever Adam Jarvis, our very first special guest on the show, this was one of the albums that he brought on. And this is Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Brain Salad Surgery. Now, whenever he was talking about it, of course, he brought on the album. The cover of this thing is definitely very H.R. Geiger, very reminiscent of like xenomorphs, aliens, whatever. But that's definitely what this reminded me of. And I'm like, dude, I have to hear this album. I don't know what it is, but I really want to hear this album. And then whenever I saw it, I'm like, yeah, I'm buying this album. But I don't know if all of the presses are like this, but this one opens up as such, which is pretty fucking badass. This is as far as I can tell, an OG press from 1973, early 70s rock. Awesome album. I threw this on as soon as I got home. Very, very synthy. There's a lot of synth. There's a lot of prog rock, I guess is what they would call it. But excited. I'm definitely excited that AJ brought this on the show and introduced me to a band that I was not familiar with growing up with, but I have found later in life. Awesome album. Queen, News of the World, which is such a clusterfuck to try to make any sense of this thing whenever you're putting it in the sleeve, because the artwork does not match the spine, and then the back of it's upside down. It's like the entire thing is just a big jumbled mess. But God, I can't even read this thing in the light. It's got because it's upside down. We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions, Sheer Heart Attack, All Dead. This is a good album. Get Down, Make Love. Get Down, Make Love was a bonus track that 9 Inch Nails did on the 2019, 2021 remaster of Pretty Hate Machine. Never heard the original, but they said in the credits that it was, of course, written by Queen, Freddie Mercury, And I thought, I'd like to hear this original version. And now I have the original version. Queen, News of the World. So,
and fun fact: Stewie Griffin is terrified of that album cover.
That's right. I knew that Family Guy was affiliated with that somehow. I remember that episode. Well, Family Guy, a first for the show. Never talked about Family Guy on Vinyl Bang. Up next,
Simpsons did it first.
should have absolutely had a Simpsons did. We did. I did. I mentioned Simpsons did it on with Patrick, right? Patrick Crawford. I'm pretty sure I said Simpsons did it. I think. Anyway, moving on. Stuff not from an antique store. A little foreshadowing with this one. This is an album, the latest album from a band that features a band member that I used to be in a band with. This was sent to me for free by this particular individual. This is The Forecast. Good Journey. Tony Peck, the drummer for The Forecast, as far as I know, he's like a founding member and has been in the band ever since their inception. I think, I could be wrong, and I'm sure I'll hear about it whenever we talk to him relatively soon. He hit me up and we made arrangements for him to be on the show. So foreshadowing, he would be a special guest. But he's like, hey, you want a free copy of my band's latest album? I'm like, yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll take a free record. Of course I want to, check out your project, Beck. Standard Black, nothing major, but hey, free record. I'm not going to complain. I have not had a chance to listen to this yet because I am fucking overwhelmed at work. And in case you can't tell, I got home 5 minutes before I started doing this episode, and I am nowhere near ready to do any of this. Just kind of doing all this on the fly. But yeah, The Journey. I don't know if they're okay. Clifton Motel, which I hope is a record label. I think. I don't know if that's a pressing plant or what, but that's what's on the back is Clifton Motel. So shout out to Tony Peck. Thanks for the free record. Thanks for being a good dude. Up next, this project I am excited about. Whenever I discovered this a couple of weeks ago, the drummer for this project made a post about it. And I knew nothing about this project at all. And whenever he had announced that the label that was pressing this is the Ghost is Clear Records, who also did the Yatsu 7-inch EP, or the 12-inch. Yeah, it's 12-inch. The Ghost is Clear Records out of Kansas City, Missouri, did this album, did this pressing. This band is called Nuclear Dudes. Nuclear Dudes. So from the best I can tell, and I've heard this is fucking rad. From the best I can tell, this guy, there's two members to this. There is John Wisniewski. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but he does instrument and vocals. And the drummer, ladies and gentlemen, Cody Willis. Cody fucking Willis of Big Business, Melvin's, High on Fire. Once I found out that Cody was in this project, I was like, dude, I have to hear this, whatever this is. And it's like a grindcore project, which is, I've never heard Cody play anything faster than Big Business. Just hearing him do a grind project is something that I was just like, yeah, I have to get on board with this. Awesome little EP. The artwork for this, for the inlay or for the inside jacket, is fucking amazing. But all of their albums have this style of artwork. They all of them. They've got like 4 other albums, and they're all just hand drawn like this, which is cool, to have your own thing and to keep up with it. But yeah, awesome project that I just kind of discovered by chance by browsing or by scrolling through Instagram one day. I was like, Nuclear Dudes with Cody Willis. That sounds fun. Up next, this is an album from my childhood. This is most likely my favorite David Lynch movie ever. And once you realize what this was Richard Pryor's last movie that he ever did, the last performance he ever did in a movie, and he had a very short role in this movie. This is Lost Highway. This was produced by Trent Reznor. It even has the Nothing logo on the back. For those of you who haven't heard this soundtrack in the mid-90s, whenever this album came out, shame on you, first off. David Bowie, Trent Reznor, Nine Inch Nails, and Angelo Badalamenti, the Smashing Pumpkins, Marilyn Manson, Rammstein doing the song Rammstein, no less. Another solo Trent Reznor song, Drive Her Down. Couple more David Bowie solo tracks. Awesome movie, awesome soundtrack. I got this the day before my birthday, actually. My wife and I went to see, what movie did we go to the theater to see? I don't even remember. But we went to Ragtag, we went to Ragtag to see the movie, and of course, right next door is Hit Records, which I've mentioned numerous times throughout the lifespan of this podcast. And stopped in and got a copy of Lost Highway on vinyl on the day before my birthday, which was awesome. Three more, and then the floor is next. So this is the newest album from Peeling Flesh. This is PF Radio 2, as I believe what this is called. PF Radio 2, released by Unique Leader Records. I've heard this on Spotify and Bandcamp and everything, but I have not gotten the chance to put the vinyl on the turntable yet. I forget what even pressing this even is. Like a half and half, blue and red. Excited for new Peeling Flesh material because these guys are awesome. Whenever I discovered this band, they were all that I listened to for like a week. And saw them live a couple of months ago. They're rad. Awesome band, awesome project. Stoked to have new material from Peeling Flesh. Two more albums, and I don't know, three more. Technically three more. So up next is a collaborative project that I'm still not sure entirely how I feel about this. Okay, so Mike Patton is, of course, my favorite vocalist of all time, and the guy has done everything from singing in Italian with an orchestra to doing rap metal to doing regular rap to doing death metal to doing hardcore with Dillinger Escape Plan, of course, Faith No More and Mr. Bungle and Phantomas and Tomahawk and everything. But this project he did with the Avett Brothers. The Avett Brothers are like a bluegrass country-ish thing. Like, I don't know. Jamerson has been a big fan of these guys for a long time, and I'm almost positive that at some point he has subjected me to music from the Avett Brothers. I just didn't really pay attention because a lot of the stuff that Jamerson shows me, I just don't really pay attention. I mean, I do, but it doesn't really sink in. But this project, I am excited to hear just because of the affiliation with Mike Patton and for him doing something different. I really just want to hear, I like to hear him doing other stuff. This is an Onyx pressing, which is, I don't know if you can tell, but it is actually transparent. You can see through it with the Onyx, man. That is a fucking rad press.
That does look really cool.
Awesome press, actually. This is out of I think they did 3 or 4 pressings. This artwork is a alternate artwork. I think the other one has there's a sun in the middle where it says Avett and Patton, ABTTPTTN. But whenever I posted this the other day, Champ Morgan, again, bringing up Champ, he had mentioned that he has gotten this album and it's awesome. So I'm going to take his word for it with a grain of salt, but I really am excited to listen to this at some point. I think tomorrow, whenever I don't have to work all day, I'm going to throw that on and give it a spin. Up next is a 3-disc special re-edition of the very first Halsey album, Badlands. This is an album that I've been subjected to by my daughter several times throughout the years. And again, whenever she was first showing me this, I didn't really pay attention just because it was, just a lot of pop artists that she was showing me at the time, like Selena Gomez and whatever. I didn't really give it the attention it deserves. And all these years later, after I have seen this girl in concert 2 times and listened to her album, If I Can't Have Love, I Want Power, which was produced by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, I'm a fan of fucking Halsey, dude. She is a phenomenal artist. And after going back and listening to this thing, she's really good. I've really missed out all over the years. But this is the 10-year anniversary. It says 10 years all alone right here. This is a special edition that's got orchestra tracks, demo or orchestral versions. Just a cappella with an orchestra. demos and rarities and remixes. Excited to have all of these tracks on one collection. And now, for my, man, I really ripped through that. What, 20 minutes? Yeah, wasn't bad. Wasn't bad. So, for my final vinyl, we're going to do this together. Let's do this together. Yeah, split screen. So, my last record.
So, yeah. It finally came in. Our first, well, my second, but Jeff's first liquid filled vinyl.
Very first liquid filled vinyl. For those of you that don't remember, we did the episode based solely on this pressing, or based solely on these pressings. This soundtrack being pressed on vinyl by Enjoy the Ride Records. And
shout out Enjoy the Ride Records.
Yeah, shout out to those guys because this is incredible. Yeah, I'm excited to finally own a liquid filled, fucking beer filled pressing of basketball, dude. I mean, and this thing, okay, I've always heard horror stories about liquid filled vinyl, about how they were just like two clear records that were like super glued together. This thing is thick.
Yep.
As fuck. It's like there's a ceiling around it. I mean, am I wrong?
This thing is heavy. This is a lot heavier than the Guar one that I have.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I mean, like it's for this movie, and I'm a big fan of this movie. So like it's great to like have this soundtrack and whatnot. And I would still like to have the Denslow cut pressing. Is that the one that I'm missing? The special one?
The rare
that would be cool to have, but like, you know, all in all, like owning this one is pretty fucking rad. Let's not kid ourselves here. Like I was so stoked because I was very confused when like the pre-orders went up for these. But like I truly thought that like they were all going on sale at once, and then I double read it and saw that these are going on sale like 2 hours before the other ones. And I remember texting Jeff and be like, I got one. He was like, so did I. And I felt great. I was like, cool. This is going to be a great episode when we get these in and we can talk about them together. Because, you know, like it was what, like we talked about it a few times. It was only like a few weeks, like a week before that we were at my house joking about like they should put this album on vinyl.
Yeah. And then they did. You know, and then a week later they announced it. It was like, dude, it's so uncanny the shit that happens because of Vinyl Bang.
I feel like we've talked about we talk about stuff all the time on this show, and then it gets pressed on vinyl. All right, I have two different things to talk about. First thing I'm going to talk about is records that were basically that I bought or ordered online. Before when I left my buddy's house today, I stopped by a record store and picked up Animals as Leaders Weightless, the second album. I think I talked about Jeff having. Here's the difference between yours and mine. You know, this little part here that's like a die cut. It's not on this one. It's like just printed on. Oh. I got a neon pink vinyl. Really happy to own this. Like I said, I love this record. I love this album a lot. A drummer that I respect and care a lot about, Naveen Coopoulos. Sorry, Naveen. He plays drums on this record, and I've talked about how much I love Tosin Abasi. He's just a great drummer. An album that I've been talking about for a while on the show that I'd love to own on vinyl that I saw one day showed up in records that in my want list basically, and I saw it was fucking cheap, not as expensive as most records, but Ozzy Osbourne, No Rest for the Wicked. I finally got a copy of that. Very stoked to own this one. This was Zakk Wylde's first album with Ozzy. Last Sunday night, I went and saw Spirit Possession at Metro Gallery. They had a new vinyl for sale. It was their demo album plus an unreleased 2020 album. The demo was only released on cassette, but this is the first time it was ever released on vinyl with an unreleased demo that they made in the year 2020. So happy to have that standard black vinyl. I'm gonna buzz through these real quick. Mr. Bungle repressed all of their albums on color vinyl. It's the first one on Orange. I talked about this with Jeff recently, but this is my first time ever owning a physical copy of Disco Volante. This is kind of like on a sea green blue, if you can kind of see that. And then California, everybody's favorite, on red, clear red. I've always had like California on CD and Mr. Bungle self-titled on CD. I've never really owned a physical copy of Disco Volante. I think I've like downloaded it a bunch of times in the past. One of my all-time favorite bands, Despised Icon. They repressed their second album, The Ills of Modern Man. I'm gonna pull this one out real quick and hopefully this is a really cool gold and black merge vinyl. Again, this band means the world to me. I love Alex Aaron with all my heart. All of those nice French Canadian dudes are just the greatest. They're about to come here in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to miss them, unfortunately, because we're going to a hockey game with our buddy Chris. But love Despised Icon. This album, Bones Brigade Records, I think they're out of France, maybe. Repressed the Blockheads' "World This World Is Dead" album. I've talked about this album a couple times because Relapse Records put this album out a couple years ago, and I have the Relapse Clear version of it. This French label, I'm probably not right, but half black, half gold with black splatter.
Nice.
I bought another pressing of it just because I'd like to have one. I like this album a lot. It's a very underrated grindcore album, and I've talked about it quite a few times on our show. I joked about this on the Patrick episode, but thankfully it has finally arrived. Shout out to our buddy James Watson. Ass Suck Misery Index. Happy to have a copy of this on vinyl. It's really fucking awesome. Because I had to wait a while. Our amazing and awesome friend hooked me up with not one but two Origin vinyls. One would be my favorite Origin vinyl of all time, Echoes of Decimation, or as Jeff and I call it, Shoes of Decimation, and Antithesis. Yeah. This is a clear pressing, really fucking awesome. I'm really happy to have this. James Watson, you are a fucking god. I love you, dude. Thank you so much. I cannot wait to see you in February. As you said, see you next year. Right when I was getting everything ready today, I completely forgot that I had gotten this in. I hadn't even opened it yet. I had to open it up and do the whole sticker thing. But the Red Cord Clients, this is my 7th pressing. White with mixed pink splatter. That's what it looks like.
Nice.
A couple weeks ago, I was when I left my buddy Chris's house. Much like today, I always stop by the CD seller in Falls Church, Virginia, and I picked up the very first Foo Fighters album. This album is like, it's hard to explain. I remember when this came out, I was expecting it to sound like Nirvana. It sounded nothing like Nirvana, but this was one of the first albums I heard that had like one of like the most like steady, like one of the best grooves I've ever heard in my life. Like every song made you bob your head, and it's just really catchy stuff. This is a really good record. I'm not a huge Foo Fighters fan, to be truthfully honest with you. Didn't really follow them much after the second album, but I really like that first album a lot because, it's no secret. Dave Grohl's a great musician. Washington, D.C. band, Genocide Pact, Order of Torment. They were selling copies of albums on their page, and I got the Relapse Clear, the Friends and Family. Jeff, wink, wink. Whoop.
Careful what you're winking there, big guy.
Shout out to Genocide Pact, awesome fucking band from DC. Winking at you there, big guy. Also recently, I guess I bought this at the CD seller as well. I have a box set of of their entire discography, but like I'd like to just own like all their albums like separately. And I think Revolver put these out a couple years ago on color vinyl. But Pantera, Cowboys from Hell, probably one of the most underrated Pantera albums. I love this album a lot. It's full of just such fucking good riffs and just like heavy shit. It's white with kind of like smoky shit in there. It's white and whiskey brown marble vinyl, but you don't see any of that. It looks just like a basic white vinyl. couple weeks ago, I shared my Outcast Stankonia vinyl. Well, this is the 25th anniversary of that album coming out, and Get On Down Records pressed it with the alternate cover that came out when it came out in stores back in the year 2000. I remember I was working at Tower Records, and they had tons of these, tons of these. The one that I had like the one with Andre and Big Boy standing in front of the Black American flag. This comes with the alternate cover, and it is like a purplish, marblish gray, splatterish thing.
Yeah.
That's what that turned out. And then finally, from records that I pre-ordered and have come in the mail, the Acacia Strange newest album, "You Are Safe Here from You Are Safe from God Here" is what it is called, and this is the limited edition Bluebird vinyl. This is the artwork, and that is the vinyl. Really cool three-way split there. Love it.
Nice.
Love this band. Some really cool heavy songs, kind of short songs. All right. Next thing I got to talk about here. As we all know, last year our buddy Blake Harrison passed away. When he passed away, a few months back, his girlfriend Lindsay hit me up and was telling me that she wants to get rid of all of his records. So she invited all of his close friends over to just take what they wanted. And the first time I went there, I was being very generous because I really didn't want to touch any of his stuff. She hit me up a couple weeks ago and said that there's still a lot left, and before she goes and sells what's left, she hit me and this guy Jay up, who are the two people that really would go to stores with Blake all the time, to record stores. And I went there on Friday night and nearly broke my arms carrying these two giant bags full of records out of there. Before I start this, I just want to shout out Lindsay Turnbullet. Thank you so much for your generosity here. These are going to a good home. She knows that Blake and I were great friends, and I care the world about him. I miss him so much, and I appreciate you donating these to me. And obviously shout out to Blake. These came from his legendary collection. But I'm going to start with these 7-inches. There's a lot here. Actually,
real quick. Hold on.
Yes, sir.
Shout out Blake, dude. I fucking listen.
For sure. I think about this dude all the time. His 50th birthday is about to come up here soon, and we're going to celebrate it in Baltimore in a couple of weeks. But yes, shout out Blake. This is like Blake. This whole next segment is dedicated to Blake for this first record, though. I gotta say, I did not get from Blake. I did acquire from my my buddy Chris. Him and his friends put together this band called Orlock's Plague. It's a 7-inch. This is my buddy Chris, Mike Smith, who plays in Deceased, Pete Reed, who's also in Abominog with Chris, Matt Sylvester, who plays drums. He put this together, and Mike Bozier, actually, he recorded all this. And I have number 66 of 250. There they are right there. Nice little 7-inch that my homies hooked me up with. All right, on to what Blake gave me. This first thing, this was sealed. This came in this, it's hard to explain the packaging, but this is Agoraphobic Nosebleeds PCP Torpedo. I had to kind of tear it open there, and this is what it looks like. It's like half orange, half red, but that doesn't look very orange to me, but that's what they say it is. I got this Agoraphobic Nosebleed B-Numb split. I believe this is red pressing. Well, this is going to be a tricky one here. 7-inches are fun. All right. Charles Bronson. This is really cool packaging. It came in this manila envelope. It's your basic black vinyl. And then another Charles Bronson 7-inch. Kind of like grayish purple vinyl.
Sick.
He'd always tell me to check this band out. I know they've got like a discography on like one whole spiel. Cemetery Piss. Shout out to Adam Savage. He used to manage Big Destroyer. Now he books a lot of cool shows. He's responsible for the Hell in the Harbor Fest. He's got a band called Cemetery Piss. This is a 7-inch that I pulled off of Blake's shelf. That look.
Shout out Freesh.
Freesh, there you go. Sorry. This is actually numbered 44 of 250.
44.
Sorry, give me a second here so I can pinch this open and stuff this 7-inch back in here. How am I going to do this? Oh, crap. All right, there we go. This way. Oh, boy. This is fun. And it's on camera, too, so I hope everybody's enjoying watching me struggle right now. This is, I don't know what this album was called. Raise the Curtain, maybe? But Cemetery Piss 7-inch. I believe this is the test press for that 7-inch. Just sitting right there next to it on the shelf. This band Brujeria. Got some 7 inches of them. With them with their gory ass graphic covers. The El Patron album. This Australian grindcore band called Blood Duster. 7-inch. Daybreak, which is a band that Blake was in with Jesus Christ. From Celebrated Summer. I already forgot his name.
I can't think of his name. You told me last night, Tony
Pence, and Daybreak, and some band called the Ultimate Warriors. There's a Daybreak picture disc that both, I guess, Tony gave to Jeff for free when we were at Celebrated Summer. This is the test press of it, and as you can see, it's number 1 of 8. This was Blake's. Thank you, Blake. Appreciate it. It's going to be in a good home now. Insect Warfare 7-inch.
Mm-hmm.
Another Insect Warfare 7-inch. Integrity and Hatebreed split 7-inch.
What?
Hemdale, which is a really cool grindcore band that I watched one year at Death Fest, and as soon as they were done playing, Blake was just like, "Yeah, I've known about this band forever." Forgot. Yeah, some of these are colored. This is a white vinyl.
I'm pretty sure. I got a 12-inch Hemdale that I think has all of those splits on it. I think that their Rad Jackson thing is like a compilation of all their 7 inches and shit. So yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, this is a cool band that I saw one year at Death Fest that Blake was. He told me he already knew about this band. Of course, he does. Oh yeah, there's more. The band Grim Reaper. This is a flexi of the song "See You in Hell." Looks like he must have picked this up when we were at joint custody together one time. All right, this next thing is really cool. I shared this on one of the last episodes we did where we did Dealer's Choice. That I Hate God Mirror covered album.
Yeah.
This is a really rare one that I don't think was really sold to the public, but somehow Blake got his hands on one. It comes in this leather case. Giant sticker. Picture disc of that song. And there's a patch. I think it's supposed to be numbered, but it is not. Oh, maybe it was. It says 8+. I don't know. But yeah. This is a really cool rare item that I don't think was ever sold to the public. But Blake somehow got his hands on it. I don't know if somebody from I Hate God gave it to him, or Dom from A389 Records, who was definitely responsible for this I Hate God 7-inch. Maybe he had something to do with it. It says "For the Sick" on the cover. I like that. That's really cool. I grabbed this Triac record. This was not a release that Blake was on. This was the gentleman, Noah, I think was his name, who did vocals. He joined the band after Blake left. Reptilian put it out. Number 116 of 500. Shout out to Jake Kreger, one of the baddest drummers in the world. This is a Triac split that Blake was on, and this is a test press of a split that they did with a band called Medic, which is an amazing fucking band that was from Baltimore, D.C. They were around for a very short bit, and then they broke up. I still see their bassist, Sonny Simpson, a lot every now and then. He, at one point, was in the band Today Is the Day. Shout out to Sonny. Really stoked to have this. This was a really cool split that Triac did with, again, a band that was here and gone really fast, but awesome. This is an Enemy Soil 7-inch called Live in Virginia. There's our boy J.R. Hayes on the cover there.
Nice.
cool stuff. This is a blue vinyl. Keep forgetting to show off some of these. Exhumed split. I don't remember. I can't tell what the name of this band is on the back, but it's exhumed on the back. Have their little Wu Tang logo. It's not exhumed on the back. It's the other band. A couple Newthrush 7 inches. If you don't know who Newthrush is, they're a really cool fucking sludgy doom band from L.A. maybe Oakland. Split they did with a band called Wellington. A split with they did with the band Gasp. This is a 7 inch of the band Quills, which features our good friend Jason Netherton and Mr. Evan. Oh crap, Evan! I'm sorry, I forget your last name, but you were in.
No, not Evan
what is-
Brewer. Evan fucking.
uh,
I can't think of his last name.
Maryland
God
Death
damn it.
Fest Evan and John and a couple other people were in this band. Misery Index Conquistador 7 inch with 7 inch split with bathtub shitter.
Which
20
pressing is that? Which pressing is that? I've got the black one, I think.
Yeah, I think this is just the black one. Yeah, just black.
Right on.
This is a difficult thing to stuff back in here.
I own one of the records you went through. Awesome. Now you got to put it back.
Yeah, this one's a bitch. I remember when
It
I
is.
went to Canada with Misery Index, they had a couple of those in their box, and nobody bought one. Reptilian Records did a bunch of picture discs, 7 inch picture discs. One of them did was for the band Mastodon. This is the first pressing of it. Very happy that Blake grabbed that. Mastodon Life's Blood, two 7 inches. This is just a basic black vinyl. Happy to have that. And then Capillarian Crest, 7 inch. Black vinyl. It is numbered. Note this side right here. 4,121. Yeah. I don't know how he got all those. All right. Those are the 7 inches. I got one 10 inch to show off. Integrity. Humanity is the Devil. This is probably one of their more famous albums, I think, because I always see people wearing this shirt talking about this. Oh boy. Let me do a little shift here. Sorry, getting too close on y'all. All right.
No, hold on. So real quick, so that Blood Duster, I was talking to Josh. Here, let me turn my light off. So I fucking. I was talking to Josh from Safari Carnage the other night, and he's going to send me a Blood Duster because I've never heard of him. And he was like, or I've heard of them and never listened to them. But Josh is like, dude, you never heard this band? You need to have this album. He's going to send me it, I think.
Cool.
Good old Josh from
They're grindy, but not.
Something.
They're like kind of jokey, grindy sometimes. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
they had that album Cunt. It kind of looked like that Ween album cover, which is like some hot, like a cropped out picture of like some chicks, like abdominal area.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that song Porn Store Stiffy was on there, and they kind of like make fun of Korn and Limp Bizkit a bit in the music video. But yeah, Blood Duster's a cool band. I've seen them live twice, courtesy of Maryland Death Fest.
Nice.
But yeah. All right.
I just wanted to see me on screen. All right, go back to it.
12 inches. Agoraphobic Nosebleed Apartment 213 Domestic Power Violence Split. I've always wanted this. I don't know why. When it came out, I just lagged on getting it. This is the yellow with pink or red splatter. They've used that a lot with agoraphobic splits. That pattern. Still cool to finally own this. This is like a piece of agor. I love agoraphobic Nosebleed.
Sure.
It'd be cool to own everything, but they have too much. Right.
Shout out Scott Hall.
Shout out Scott Hall. All right. Agoraphobic Nosebleed and Cattle Press. But yes. Never owned this before. Happy to have this.
That's right.
Yeah. This is a Black Flag bootleg from Live in '84. I think it originally just came out on cassette tape, and then somebody pressed it on vinyl. Blake never wants to open this, but it's a set from '84, so they would have been touring the album My War at the time. Cool stuff. Grabbed a couple Black Flag records from him. Family Man, which is a spoken word and instrumental record. And Loose Nut. I believe Armageddon Man is on, or that's on Family Man. Yeah, I saw those two. I was like, yeah, let me grab those. This was a cool one. I don't believe this is an official release, but still very fucking cool because I like this album and I don't own it on vinyl. Cannibal Corpse, Butchered at Birth picture disc.
That is
Good
pretty
stuff. Sometimes you see things you never expect to see in Blake's collection. The newest Darkest Hour album, Perpetual Terminal. This was not opened. I opened it up. It is a ghostly vinyl. Yeah, I should pull this out. This is actually a really cool looking record. Having it behind two pieces of paper, I'm going to do so much justice. But
nice.
yeah. I
That's very ghostly.
well, these like dots. I don't know if you could see them very well, but it just looks really fucking rad.
Nice.
Yeah, this camera is not doing it justice, unfortunately. Maybe if I had my blinding lights on above, you could see it a little better. This was something cool. Lindsay was surprised it took so long for somebody to take this. When Relapse repressed all the Death albums, they did these like limited edition boxes that came with like, like the early artworks and demos and rehearsals and stuff. I've showed off my uh, my leprosy and individual healing boxes, I think, and I also have human on clear. Well, this is spiritual healing, and this is on clear. Very fucking stoked to have this. Can't believe nobody took that off his hands. This one, I'm shocked. I can't believe it. And Jeff, you're gonna like this.
No, the puke green. I thought you already had that.
No, I only have like that clear orange. I had no ambition in getting like every pressing, but like
Gotcha.
I saw that and was just like, because I bought it from them back in the day, back in 2006. I bought it, but I saw that on his shelf and I was like, no fucking way. I don't know why he bought that. I don't. This is a Hydra head pressing of Calculating Infinity. It's just a black pressing, but still really fucking cool. I didn't expect to see that on his shelf. Discordance Axis, what's it called? The Inedible Dreams, Dreamless,
The Inalienable Dreamless.
Inedible Genius, Dreamless. I think Sorry State just recently repressed this, maybe on blue with that little smear in the middle there, and I'm pretty sure I have a copy that Blake had already given me of this. He rarely gave me records for no reason, but he had a second one, so he just gave it to me. But Discordance Axis.
Jiao Hao.
Yes. Jiao Hao.
I'm probably mispronouncing that too. It's probably like Yao Hao or something.
I thought this was an OG pressing. It's just a bootleg, but GNR lies.
That's so badass.
I remember when I was a kid, this is the censored version. So when you open it up, I think there's certain ones, OG presses, when you open it up and there's like that topless chick inside, but it's like censored over her breast. But
yeah, I've got the cassette. I've got the uncensored cassette of that.
Iron Maiden, Seventh Son of the Seventh Son, and OG pressing. I have a repress of it. Very happy to fucking snag that off him. All right. I'm going to try to do these as quick as I can. Bunch of Judas Priest. It looks like British Steel and Screaming for Vengeance were gone by the time I got there. But I was able to grab Stained Class, Defenders of the Faith, Hell Bent for Leather, everybody's favorite Turbo, and Point of Entry. Yeah, Judas Priest, such a fucking great band. Those early ones are really fucking awesome. I think they're very underappreciated albums, but he has a Mastodon Remission blue pressing. It's like kind of clear blue, but it's I don't know what press it was, but it was in his collection. He had this very old school Master of Puppets. It's in everything that I was adding was I had to grade it in very good condition because it was just it's not near mint. Like as you can see, this Ride the Lightning, the cover is like beat to all hell. But again,
it was loved.
he moved a lot with a lot of these records. This is a cool one. I have this, but this is also a first pressing of Miasmatic Necrosis's what's the name of this fucking album? Apex Profane. Um, Clear.
Nice.
Friends and family shit.
No, that's not Relapse, is it?
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't think it was.
Again, I love the layout of this. When you open the insides, there's the guts and all that shit.
Right.
Shout out to Mr. Evan Harding. That's his last name. And this band, Evan, please put out new music. I love this fucking stuff.
Yeah, they're gonna be at Death Fest next year.
Are they?
Yes.
I don't think they are.
I think they
I
are.
didn't realize they are. Misery Index Descent. This was in really poor shape, unfortunately. Looked like it was like a poor abused animal that nobody fed or took care of. I had to throw it in a nice sleeve and all that. This was an album that I recently put on my want list because I was like, fuck, I don't have this. And I remember when this came out, and I really love this album, this EP. Really love this EP. They recently repressed it on, not recently, maybe 10 years ago, the Pulling Out the Nails compilation.
Mm-hmm.
This was on there. Good fucking EP. It was the last thing they did with Kevin Talley. I do not own any Motorhead, and this is a 60th anniversary Back to Black. Not 60th anniversary, but Ace of Spades. And it's sealed, unopened. So one day I will pop that out and play that for the first time. This was like a 1988 or 87 repressing of Motley Crue's first album, Too Fast for Love. This is actually the last album of theirs I don't own. And by that, I mean like the Vince Neil era, the good Vince Neil era before, he left and shit went bad. Municipal Waste, The Art of Partying. This is really cool. He got this highlighter yellow vinyl. I think this was one of their best albums. This was certainly when this album came out, I went and saw them a lot, and this is when I started becoming friends with these guys, and just they remembered who I was, and good stuff. I mean, like I still think they have some of the funnest live shows ever. But happy to snag this out of Blake's shelf, out of his collection. Also, their very first album, Hazardous Mutation. This is just a base standard black vinyl, but again, awesome to have. Neurosis' second album, The Word Is Law. I believe this is an OG pressing. Basic standard black vinyl. Back when they were a punk band. Pig Destroyer, Explosions in Ward 6. I think this is green. Oops. Everything's just falling out and falling on the ground. Yes, green vinyl.
I think that's the same one I have.
I think green and black rolled me. I don't know. I don't remember.
Green clear, that's what I got. That's cool.
Almost done here in record time. Oh, damn, just over an hour. But we'll probably make it less than that, depending on where we go here. I'm just lollygagging around here. This is a Prowler in the Yard on silver vinyl. Not going to break it out. She had like 1,000 of those on the shelf, and I was like, sure, I'll take one. 38 counts of battery. Guess which one this is, Jeff?
Is that look at that. There we go. Friends and family. Frank Wang sent me that.
Yeah.
Just I
remember
like,
that.
He just sent me a package one day and it had the clear 38 counts. Like, fuck yeah, that's rad.
This comp kills the fastest. I think there's 4 of them in here. Yes. There's two 12 inches. Quite a few bands on here. Quite a few. Agents of Satan, Weekend Nachos, Kill the Client, Spoonful of Vicodin, Maruda, Insect Warfare, Shitstorm, Man Will Destroy Himself, Total Fucking Destruction, Chainsaw to the Face, Magruder Grind, Brutal Truth, ASRA, and Wastoid. This Deep Six and Relapse put this out. Scott Hall put this compilation together. It's band X, the album Los Angeles, old school punk band. Saw that on the shelf, thought that was cool as shit. All right, almost done here. Today is the day, Supernova, OG Press.
Nice.
Today is the day, In the Eyes of God. Really cool fucking album, OG Press. And finally, Rollins Band, Do It. First album by Rollins Band. Saw this sitting on the shelf. I don't think he had. I don't remember if he had any other Rollins Band, but that one I was like, sure, let me grab this. I'm familiar with that album. My brother-in-law's played it a lot, but thank you again to Lindsay. I appreciate her time and her kindness and all these records that I will now have to add. I had to shift all these records over the other night so I can make room for all these new ones that I'm about to put on here. But as you can see, my shelf space is a little bit more full than it normally is. And
Yeah, I saw that. But, you said I'd be able to notice on the ones behind you. Normally, like you got something in front of them because there was nothing in there.
Yeah, everything is filling up. I had to take shit that was on here that didn't need to be on here and put it in other boxes and store it in other places. I have no room down here. I need to help me.
Where's a couple I'd take off your hands? I mean, if dude, that was agoraphobic. That Cattle Press fucking record is sick. I mean, fucking sick. And I was right. Miasmatic and Necrosis is playing fucking Maryland Death Fest next year. I looked it up. So there you go.
Pat yourself on the back there, Jeff.
I did. And I will. Miasmatic. Dude, that's rad. A shout out again, man. Fucking like 11.
Yeah, I got something cool that I'm going to break out in future episodes. I'm going to wait till his 50th birthday party that we're doing in December. But got something neat lined up here. But yeah, there we go. Episode 96. We're getting close to 100. I'm stoked on that. I don't know who we have lined up for our 100th episode guest, but we got to figure this out soon, Mr. Grindstoffer, because time is ticking here, bud.
Damn right, Mr. Grindstoffer. That's what it is. That's my new nickname. I'm going to put Mr. right there. I'm going to spell it out. Mister.
I'll change it to your government name if I have to.
Grindstoffer. Grindstopher. I'll fucking spell it out. This was fun. This was rushed, but it was fun. A lot to cover. A lot of Billy Joel and some Blood Duster. Yeah, it was fun. Good one, Nick. Cool. Good one.
I know. Good job, buddy.
Don't do that. Don't pat yourself on the back.
Do it on the other side now, despite you.
Stop it.
Okay. Well, if you're still watching, we pity you, but thank you so very much for sticking around. This was a very fun episode. There was a lot of new records that Jeff and I wanted to share with you. We're happy that we were able to finally do this because, like I said, we're winding down to episode 100, and we're trying to pull some cool, neat tricks once we get there out of our hats. But it's going to be, we'll see what happens here. But Jeff, got anything to add before I end this episode?
No, yes. No, I got nothing. Good job, Nick.
What a waste
of time with all your records. Dude, I took a nap while you were doing that.
It's good to know. So I guess you didn't hear all those bad things I was saying about him. You're just going to figure it out when you edit this episode. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you all next week.
Yeah, I'm going to edit Nick out of this episode. See you guys.